Hi everyone, just doing this video because obviously been joining some of these groups where people what stand up to what's going on, like they can see, all the lies surrounding the COVID, mandatory vaccines, basically like the New World Order, cashless society, and where this is all going. But then I'm noticing in some groups, so when they're organising like protests and things, or some of the things they share, it's about saying like unite against communism, and I thought, what the hell's communism got to do with any of this? Maybe thought maybe it's me, I've got the wrong information, but I thought I didn't know communism was a bad thing. So right, so basically I've looked into both, and I think I understand parts of capitalism and I understand parts of communism and Marxism. So capitalism says, I can't even understand my own writing, but economic political system in which a country's trade and industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than by the state. So basically, to me, that maybe I'm wrong. That means rather than having government own everything, that you get the people to, distribute things and own everything. So maybe that's small businesses, but to me, that's kind of like what we're moving into now. It's like when the schools started getting taken over by private companies and stuff, and they started to become academies. So is that not like a form of capitalism? And it's like, who are these companies? Are they? They don't. So my point is that we have got a form of capitalism going anyway, the way I see it. And there's problems that have been created under capitalism. And it's not equal. It's not equal rights. You've got rich up there, poor down there. Anyway, communism. A theory of a system of social organisation in which all the property is owned by community and each person contributes and receives according to the ability and needs. So that's like, as far as I know, that's agreeing with the government to basically have control, like having leaders that control, that distributes everything equally. So that's what we've got now. So to me, we've had both, and everything's fucked basically. I think that how maybe it started off, and if humans were normal, wasn't greedy, corrupt, and then soon as they get a bit of power, become flipping like Nazis or whatever, then maybe it could have been good. But I think like basically we've gone downhill when, to me, it's like the moment people started making materialistic things basically, and digging up oil, inventing things that basically destroy the planet. It should have never have been allowed. Shouldn't have ever been allowed. There should have been some form of leaders in charge that said no. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be done because it's going to end up destroying the planet, and actually caring about the planet. So to me, to see the state of the world and what we've done to it, us humans, it's like under these leaders, it's like it's got to go. It has to go. It's going to go anyway, But the point is, I believe we're not prepared. We like this system, so people that pretend they don't, and they're all for this and that and the other. But no, not many people are willing to give up their materialistic pleasures and do the right thing basically, and live how I believe you're supposed to live personally. I do think to get back to that stage, we need assistance with technology. But everything needs to go back to being, so we need basically representatives or whatever, um, the government or whoever in charge. I don't know. But basically, it needs to be scrapped. Anything that is destroying the planet needs to be scrapped. So I know people like the aeroplanes, but until some form of plane that is, you know, solar powered, you can't go on a plane. How many people are gonna stand up and say, oh, you know what? Fair enough, I won't travel, or I'll go, some other way. I don't know how bad boats are because they're, like them big, what they're called, ferries or whatever. I'm not too sure about how bad that is, but yeah, until some other method is invented that isn't so destructive to the planet and nature, humans, animals, then it's like, no. But how many people are willing to step away and say, we're not using them planes anymore until, you come up with a better way? Cars. How many people are going to stop driving a cars and say, until the companies start making, a better form of, ethical, safer cars, we're not driving them. Not many people are willing to do that. And it's like all this city and everything, we've just chopped down all the land, sacred plants and everything, and just like destroyed everything for money, houses, and they're all businesses making big money. And then you've got people that are homeless on the street, got no food, people struggling. It's just messed up, absolutely messed up. So to me, all this materialistic system has caused the problem. So it's like, people that go capitalism, communism. No, you know what I mean? They both had the day. They've both took over, this Western way of doing things has took over everything. And yeah, people enjoy it and like the stuff, but come on, it's destructive. You know what I mean? It's like we're babies. It's like we've got to grow up now. You can't just continue down this path. Whether you like it or not, we can't. Just look what's happening. Look how we leave in the world for our kids, the future. It's like not right. So to me, yeah, we've got to make the changes in our own lives. But we've got to be the ones to step away from all the stuff we're using and doing collectively. There's no demand. They're not going to stop all these, oil barons and stuff. There's a demand for it. How can we blame them for doing all this stuff? You know what I mean? We're the ones buying it. If there was no one to sell it to and no one to use it, then there'd be this game will be over. But we're the ones holding it up because we cooperate, we, participate, and we've got to stop basically. Yeah, so to me, it's like, as soon as you give people in society a bit of power, it's like they get to the heads. You just need to go into an office to see that. And then start dictating to people or whatever. And this is what's happened with the government, They've just abused the power. We don't get consulted. We don't get asked nothing. They just roll out whatever they want, whatever they deem fit, like we're just little puppets. We don't get consulted about anything at all. Any decisions they want to make, we don't get consulted, we don't get asked. And that obviously needs to change. It's like, these masks and stuff and vaccines, and it's like, do we get a say in anything? I didn't ask to, be born into a society where I've got to live like this. I'd be quite happy to go off somewhere. I just have land, shelter, know how to build my own shelter, know how to grow and maintain my own crops, know how, about water and filling it. There were streams, you know what I mean? We like fresh water. We used to just get our, our food, everything was free. And now it's like we're put in this system and told this is how you got to live. If you don't want to live like that, you're fucked basically. So you've got to participate in this whole thing. So it's like, to me, all this capitalism, communism, it's like, what if you don't agree with none of it? Yeah, at the moment we're probably going to need parts of some form of structure, to get back to. I think we need a bit of both. We need leaders at the moment, because people can't think for themselves anymore. So we need some form of leaders, and then we need obviously small businesses or whatever need more. Definitely need more small, like farms with veg growing plants and stuff, and in the cities, little allotments and thing. No one should have to go hungry. No one should starve. You know what I mean? It's just planting a seed. There should be crops everywhere. So we're the ones that have got to do it. But it's like, oh, we own everywhere, so you have to ask permission. You can't do this there. You have to ask us. So we are not. They just own everything, absolutely everything. And this is what I'm saying. So everyone has abused their power, in my opinion, because we've not been consulted. They've just took over everything and done what they think is fit for everyone, and their vision, what they want, they've just projected on the whole world. And we've not been consulted. We've not been asked. So and look at the state of it. You know what I mean? It's like even half this music that's out there and these apps and things, and then how fast technology come in, and we were naive. We didn't know like how destructive it could be, especially for the youth. And it's like we wasn't asked. There was no monitoring of it, where it should have been like, can only go on it for this long, or because these are the side effects, or it's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Or it should have been, computer consoles made with some sort of switch or thing to say, right, you can only play it for this long because it's bad for you. But it's all about profit and money. And I think people say money isn't the root of all evil, but, I think it is. I think we are not capable of just using money as a form of currency. If people like that game, I don't know, let them. But what about the people that don't want that?
What about people that literally do not want to profit and say, and just want someone to better and get unrealistic things and just live natural, creating their own thing and using your imagination and, to
And learning, to make their own things. We should know so much. So basically, life was about
learning about nutrition, learning about all these. I think another video, and I don't know who to have the basis for, don't agree with capitalism and don't agree with communism, but I understand both points and both parts.
becoming enemies, just unite and try and talk, see, take parts of bits of each one. But ultimately, if you want change, you can't operate in the system and live the life that you live in. But people need to wake up to come to realise that, you got to distance yourself from these materialistic pleasures because they're fake. We've lost our connection with, everything natural that God intended us to have, our natural gifts. We have completely lost a massive connection with them, and I think it's been severed on purpose. If you just look at, a lot of tribes and that, all the plants, it's like, them people need protecting, our nature needs protecting, and we've just done an absolute rubbish job, in my opinion, on this planet. But it's gonna go. It's all gonna fall. It's all gonna collapse. It's all going anyway. So people better prepare. That's the problem. It's gonna go anyway, but we're not prepared. I believe it's gonna go. Don't believe it's gone. It's the way it's heading. I believe in divine intervention, and somehow I don't believe it's gonna head into that way. And not how bleak the future looks. Humans are waking up now, rising up, and that's a good thing. But the point is, when we rise up, where do we go from there? And you just got to go back to the beginning, in my opinion. and be grateful and realise and appreciate it's not a bad thing, like, oh my God, I can't have all these things no more. It will take some time, but there'll have to be the ones that obviously, you know, take them steps, raise the kids right, and then pass it on, pass it down, and then we'll get things back right again. So yeah.